Hi, friends. Welcome to Direct Impact Broadcasting. The network of growth and transformation presents SOS for Leaders, where your host, Tywauna Wilson, will be sharing leadership and personal growth strategies. Let's jump right in.
Welcome to another episode of SOS for Leaders. I am your host, Tywauna Wilson. A little bit about myself. I am an author, speaker, coach, and award-winning leadership maven with over 15 years of in the trenches real-world experience. I help career-driven professionals such as yourself grow your leadership, boost your visibility, and discover your unique power streams for career promotion. Simply put, I help you stand out, get promoted, and get paid. Before we jump into today's episode, if you could please do me a favor and share this episode with your friends and colleagues who could benefit from these practical leadership tidbits. In today's episode, we will be talking about why we don't dream big enough in our careers. Most people have at least one big dream for their career, whether that's to be a laboratory director, a team leader, a vice president of the organization, or even the CEO of the hospital. However, the most significant percentage of them will keep their dreams just that, a dream, a pie in the sky idea, by never even trying to make it happen. We may even ask ourselves what's holding us back from even attempting to try to live out the dream of our career. If you want to take the risk but have still been sitting on the fence, don't beat yourself up. But do understand that these 4 reasons that we will talk about today are why so many of us choose to play it safe rather than do something extraordinary. Awareness of how they affect you is the first step to overcoming them. And listening to this podcast will bring that awareness for you into fruition. So one of the reasons that people don't dream big enough in their careers is we don't make it clear. We all have spells of daydreaming every once in a while, but how often do we turn those daydreams into reachable goals, tangible steps? One of the big reasons why we don't have big enough dreams is that we just let them slip away. We didn't define them and set them as clear priorities. Instead, we just looked at them as a must be nice and then kind of move on. Such as, it must be nice to be a supervisor, or it must be nice to be the team leader, or it must be nice to be a manager. We didn't have being a manager or leader on our career roadmap. And that's something I talked about in a previous podcast episode about defining your career roadmap so you could take tangible, actionable steps in order to get to where you want to be in your career. So one key is we don't make it clear, which is a reason why we are not meeting some of our career dreams. Another key is that we're underestimating our abilities. If it sounds like you can never lose weight, you're underrating yourself. If it sounds like or seems like you'll never be able to be a leader of a team, then you're probably undervaluing yourself. The belief that we aren't good enough is one of the biggest reasons why people don't take the chance to make their dreams come true and go for the promotion, or try to seek advanced leadership positions, or try and get that scholarship. How many times have your limiting beliefs stopped you dead in your tracks, stopped you from even trying because you are busy saying your abilities aren't good enough? Then you see someone with less skills, less education than you have get the role or opportunity that you thought about or were daydreaming about applying for. We often underestimate our abilities, and that's another key area that keeps us from achieving our career dreams. Another area is that we don't have the skills, or at least that's what we tell ourselves. A dream may sound scary if you don't have the skills necessary to do it, But why would or should that stop you? You can learn anything you wish to, and you can get started on it today. So anything you put your mind to, anything that you want to learn and do, you can do it. Skills can be learned. Leadership is developed day by day by day. Most dreams, big dreams, don't even rely on formal education or years of study. Most big dreams really require a skill in which you can learn. How many times have you seen someone in a director level or VP position and they only had a high school diploma? That's a prime example that most big dreams don't rely on formal education or years of study. I've seen in my career and in my lifetime, I've seen tons of executives be in those positions that they're in, and they don't have a college education. They don't have a college degree. Some of them only have a high school diploma, but they had a will and they learned the skills that were needed to be successful. But we often hold ourselves back because we don't believe we have what it takes to learn the necessary skills to make our dreams a reality. So even though you have more degrees, certification, years of experience than required, that are really more than necessary and adequate, it still holds you back, and you may be thinking to yourself, I don't have the skills needed to be the lab director, or needed to be the vice president, or needed to be the sales manager, or whatever the case may be. And then the last key that we will talk about today is we're afraid. We're afraid of so many things: failure, success. Yeah, people are afraid of success, yes. What others will think. Everyone who has ever gone after their big dream has been scared of something. There's a part of our brain that's its job to keep us safe, which means staying where we are, keeping us comfortable in our comfort zone. When we think about reaching for a big goal, it brings up all types of thoughts to make us stay safe and small so that we don't get hurt. Understanding that everyone is afraid and that our brain is part of the reason, we can go a long way to getting up the courage to try anyway. So what if you go for the position and you don't get it and you don't get selected? Try again. Many people have gotten looked over, passed over, and not selected for an opportunity that they submitted for. Guilty. Right here, I've applied for positions that I didn't get, but it didn't stop me from trying again. If you never try, the answer is always, and I mean always, no. So do it afraid. Go for it anyhow. Because if you don't, the answer is always no. Then the answer is yeah, then all of these limiting beliefs do become a reality, and the reason of why your big dream for your career doesn't come true. So today we talked about keeping an awareness of how some of these limiting beliefs affect you from reaching your big dream. So we want for you to reach your big dream for your career, to go for it. And remember, you have to make it clear. So in order to reach your big dream, it needs to be clear and not just a must be nice to be a supervisor. It must be nice to be a manager. You got to have it on your career roadmap in order to achieve it. Stop underestimating your abilities, because you are underrating yourself, undervaluing yourself. If you don't think you can lead a team, you're undervaluing yourself. And you just have to go for it. And don't let your lack of ability, at least in your eyes, be the hindrance. You have to believe that you have the skills and work to having the skills that's necessary to be successful in the role. You can have a lot of skills, but if it's not the skills to be successful in a particular role, then it still doesn't necessarily guarantee your success. So working towards having the skills, and do it afraid. I know it's easier said than done, but when we are afraid of so many things, such as failure, failure is a part of the process. Failure is inevitable. Failure and success goes hand in hand. So, and what other people think is another reason why sometimes people don't go for those career opportunities or those career dreams. But one thing, again, just talking about failure and success, because that's a hindrance that so many people battle in regards to their career, is I'm afraid to fail. And when I talk with successful people, I always ask them, what is one failure that they've had in their life, in their career, reaching their goals. And if they can't tell me you can't tell me one failure, then I'm questioning their success, because the reality is success and failure goes hand in hand. Most successful people have had way more failures than they've had successes. And if somebody tells you that they've never had any failures, they've not tried enough things. And so I would be a little bit cautious on what information that they are giving to you. Like I said, it goes hand in hand. And so make sure that you surround yourself with a tribe or community of people that can help you reach your big dreams for your career. So I want you to make sure you dream big, and not just dream, but create an actionable plan to go after those things in which you want to see for your career, whether it's to get the manager role, the supervisor role, retire by a certain age, which will require you to make some pretty big moves in your career. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of SOS for Leaders. Please connect with me on LinkedIn at Tywauna Wilson, or visit my website at someleaderswearlabcoats.com. I look forward to seeing many of you inside the academy. And until next time, have an amazing week, and don't be afraid to dream big to reach those career milestones. Have a good day.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of SOS for Leaders, where Tywauna shared nuggets of wisdom that you can use to win in life. Follow her on Facebook, Instagram, and connect on LinkedIn. And remember, the secrets of success in your life resides inside of you. When you know what your strengths are, you can utilize them to live an impactful and influential life.